Hey guys, my name is Nov. As more and more of you guys are voting on the poll I posted last week, it's making it clear to me that most of you are very new to Lost Ark and to the world of Arcasia. Because of that, I decided I'm going to make a series of videos that will make everything clear for all of you in terms of game mechanics, terminologies, and endgame activities. Of course, I already made a video called The Only Guide You Will Need to Watch Before Release, but this video and the few following this one are going to be more in detail, and you can look at them as a source for whatever content you might be confused about. We will start everything with this video, and hopefully by the end of it you will know what each topic is, why you should do it, and how you can do it. All the information I gathered by either playing Lost Ark myself or by looking it up on papunica.com or in St. Owen's written guide. Huge credit to them, and you can find the link for the both of them at the top of the description. As always, the video is separated into segments, so you can find the part that interests you by hovering over the timeline or by looking at the description. If you find the video helpful, please give it a like. I've put tons of effort in it, and also don't forget to subscribe for more Lost Ark content. Our very first topic is going to be upgrade materials and currencies. All of the currencies in Lost Ark are account-wise. The first currency you are introduced to in Lost Ark is silver. You get some silver as a quest reward while going through the story. Later on, you will be showered with silver from all sorts of sources, but certain activities like skill gem rerolling and gear honing will get rid of all of your silver without you even noticing it. If you find yourself in a situation where you're lacking in silver, the most reliable sources to obtain some are Una's daily and weekly tasks that reward silver, chaos dungeons, and cube dungeons. The next currency you will get introduced to is none other than, drumroll, gold. Gold is the king of currencies in Lost Ark. You can spend gold to buy almost anything in the game, even most cash shop items. Gold is also used for crafting and honing gear, for stronghold upgrades, crafting items, and you can also convert your gold into blue crystals that you can use to buy certain items directly from the cash shop, expand your warehouse storage, and for some other things. You can obtain gold from a fair few sources, which include one-time gold rewards. Those are from masterpieces, which is a collectible item, from certain NPCs at specific report levels, and from quests. Your weekly gold sources are Abyssal Dungeons, Abyssal Raids, Legion Raids, only in Tier 3, and Una's Tokens Exchange. And finally, your daily gold sources are Adventure Islands, Chaos Gates, Chaos Dungeon Portal RNG, selling life skill resources, and selling tradable items dropped from daily activities. We also have Royal Crystals. These crystals are the currency in Lost Ark that you can buy for real money. They can be spent in the cash shop on various in-game items, ranging from avatars, mounts, pets, to character expansion slots, character remake tickets, and even blue crystals. The blue crystals can be sold to players for gold. On the Russian server, this is limited to 10 exchanges a day. Another very important currency is pirate coins. There are also region-specific coins. Those I will cover in the Voyage missions section. The main source for pirate coins are the cooperative Voyage missions. You can also get some from other content here and there, like quests, adventure islands, world bosses, and so on. Pirate coins you can spend on gear upgrading mats, XP potions, a fair few amount of collectibles, cards, and ship-related things like crew members for specific ships, and also mats used to upgrade your ship. You also have PvP tokens, which you can get for doing PvP. The easiest way to farm them is by spamming 3v3 arena PvP. You don't get too many as soon as you finish your games, but I believe you are sent a decent amount at the end of each PvP season. I also believe your overall rank, not your ranked rank, but your general PvP rank, also comes into play on how many tokens you are awarded with. If you know more about this, please fill us in the comment section and I'll include it in the pinned comment. These tokens can be spent on upgrade mats, XP potions, auxiliary items, and some special items locked behind a rank requirement. There's also a guild currency, which is called Silmaril Bloodstones. You receive them from donating silver or gold to your guild daily, and it's recommended to do only silver, and you also get them from participating in guild versus guild and in guild versus boss activities. You can spend these bloodstones at the guild currency exchange NPC for upgrade mats and some other stuff. The guild you are in can level up and research new purchase options like cube dungeon and boss rush tickets and other special things that are hard to obtain from other sources. There is a report related currency, which I don't know the official name of, but we currently call it Carnelians. You mainly get these from quests and Una's tasks. They can be spent to purchase different report items at specific NPCs in towns, and these items can be gifted to report-related NPCs to level up your relationship with them. The final currency we will discuss is peons. Peons are used when buying certain items from the auction house. As an extra currency, you need to pay besides gold. Not all items require you to pay peons for them. The ones that do are avatars, equipment, and jewelry. Pretty much everything else you don't need to pay peons for. You can only buy peons from the cash shop with blue crystals that you can convert your gold into. Peons are also sometimes given away as event rewards. Also, please keep in mind that anything I say about the cash shop or events can be different for our version of the game. Nothing is set in stone until we can see it for ourselves. That's all about the different currencies. Now let's talk about upgrading materials. All of these items have their own tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 variant. Let's start with fragments. Fragments have pretty much one purpose, and it's to fill up a bar on your equipment that you want to start honing or enhancing. But you also need to pay some for each attempt as you are progressing. You can get them as a drop that's directly added to your character storage, or you can get them in bags from certain content. These bags are usually tradable, but not in all cases. The most reliable sources for fragments are Chaos Dungeons, the weekly resetting exchange merchants, which are Guild, PvP, Purification Fragments, and Pirate Coin exchange merchants, Una's tasks, and the auction house. However, the auction house fragments are very expensive because they come in bags that are hard to come by. You can also get them from other sources like the Tower Dungeon, Ghost Ships, Adventure Islands, World Bosses, and so on. Next up we have the Destruction and Guardian Stones. These stones are only used when upgrading your weapon and armor. They can be obtained from pretty much the same sources as fragments, with a few exceptions. The most reliable sources are exactly the same. Next up we have Leap Stones. Leap Stones are used to upgrade all of your gear. They have 3 tiers that are required for honing low, mid, and high rarity gear respectively. The tier you can receive them depends on your item level and the content you are doing. You can get Leap Stones from Chaos Dungeons, Guardian Raids, Boss Rush, Tower Dungeon, the Purification Fragment Merchant, Adventure Islands, World Bosses, and from your guild currency exchange. And our last upgrading material is Fusion Stones. These only appear at a certain level of gear honing. In the beginning of each tier, you are not required to have any of them. However, later on, you will need a lot of them to be able to upgrade your gear. They can only be crafted in your Strongholds workshop or purchased from the auction house. I could also swear I got them in tier 1 while doing lumbering on the Russian server, but that could have been some sort of outdated or catch-up mechanic. There's also another item that I think falls into this category, which is auxiliary items. They are used to improve your success chance while honing your gear, and they have a limited amount of use for each attempt, so you can't just use hundreds of them to ensure succeeding. It is advised to only use them on weapon enhancing, because weapon enhancing attempts are a lot more expensive in comparison to armor enhancing. Their main sources are cube dungeons and treasure maps from Chaos Gates. They can also be obtained from the Tower Dungeon, World Bosses, Adventure Islands, Ghost Ships, and Guild Currency and Purification Fragments exchange merchants. Now let me briefly cover gear honing in Lost Ark. In a few weeks I'll cover this topic more thoroughly, and perhaps by then Amazon Games will share a bit more information about what kind of patch our game will be running on exactly, and what updates they will include for us. The first set of gear you can actually start honing, you get from your first few Chaos Dungeons or by completing the story of Shoeshire. The gear is a blue or rare rarity, item level 302 gear set with no set bonuses, since it's Chaos Dungeon gear. You can upgrade your gear at the gear honing NPCs. On the minimap they have this little hammer icon. In order to attempt an upgrade on a piece of gear, you first need to fill it with fragments, and this costs some silver as well. If you were to fail an attempt, you don't need to fill the item with fragments again until you actually succeed. However, all the mats, gold, silver, and success rate improving items are lost for each attempt. With lower item level gear, relative to the tier you are currently in, you start with 100% success chance when honing it, and it gets progressively lower as the item level increases, and the amount of resources you need for honing also increases. Early on, you only need fragments, silver, destruction stones, or guardian stones, but later on, it will start requiring leap stones, gold, and fusion stones. This process pretty much resets when you advance to the next tier. When you start having a lower success rate than 100%, the game introduces a pity system, and completely regardless of that pity, your success chance is also increased with each attempt. With each attempt, you start building a pity meter, and the amount it increases by grows with each failed attempt. Once this meter hits 100%, your next attempt is guaranteed to succeed, but until that point, the pity meter in itself does not affect your odds at all. Next up is equipment. You have 6 equipment slots for your weapon and armor, 5 accessory slots for a necklace, 2 earrings and 2 rings, and a single slot for an ability stone. Later, in late tier 3, a 6th accessory slot is introduced, which is for bracelets, and they have no engravings on them, only some combat stats, and a few unique combat bonuses. You also have jewels or skill gems starting from tier 2, and I will also cover runes in this section. All of your weapons, armors, and accessories have quality on them in the endgame. Higher quality evidently increases certain properties on each item. What percentage an item has is determined upon being dropped or crafted and cannot be changed unless you recycle the item into another one with a different quality percentage. That has 100% chance to succeed, only costs silver, and it is only possible with your weapon and armor. In tier 3, it is possible to increase the quality of an item, and it's involved with RNG. Unless you get super lucky, it will cost you tons of gold to get an item to a high quality percentage like 90 or above.
48이면 솔직히 갈아버리긴 하거든.
Quality is by far the most important on your weapon and also accessories. The damage difference between a low quality percentage weapon and a high quality percentage one can be up to 15%, which is a lot. Starting from tier 3, all weapon and armor items increase the levels of random tripods of random skills. These tripod levels can be transferred to different gear for silver. The higher level the effect increases the tripod's level by, the lower the chances to succeed with the transfer. You can double the odds of transferring with the use of tripod powders. After the transfer attempt, the item you were transferring from is destroyed. Crafted gear sets also have set bonuses. To craft a gear set, you need to obtain untradeable items that are rewards for completing abyssal dungeons, abyssal raids, and legion raids. The quality on jewelry is also important. Each jewelry item has base stats and additional stats. Base stats differ from tier and rarity, and the quality only affects additional stats. The additional stats are random on each piece of jewelry. Necklaces have 2 additional stats, rings and earrings have only 1, and those stats are not rerollable. Jewelry are the only source to directly increase a combat stat of your liking, but they also increase with certain permanent upgrades. So if you're looking to increase a specific stat, like swiftness or crit, the only way is by swapping your jewelry. Jewelry also have random engravings on them. Higher rarities can have higher amounts of engraving points. Class engravings can also roll on jewelry, but only on the class that got the jewelry as a drop. One important thing to remember when picking your rings and earrings is that they each need to have different names. You cannot equip 2 rings or earrings that have the same name. Ability stones also increase your max HP and have 3 engravings on them. 2 are positive and 1 is negative. Before you can equip an ability stone, you need to completely finish cutting it, and that will determine the points of the engravings on the stone. Higher rarity stones have more engraving point slots on them, up to 10 on artifact rarity for each engraving. Ability stones are only tradable before being cut. The most reliable sources for them are Chaos Dungeons and Guardian Raids, but they drop from a number of sources. When you salvage ability stones, you get fragments from them, and certain amounts of fragments can be turned back into a stone with new random engravings. Jewels are not to be confused with jewelry, and I'll be referring to them as gems. Gems are introduced in tier 2, and you will swap your tier 2 gems once you advance to tier 3. There are 2 types of gems, cooldown gems and damage gems. Each cooldown gem decreases the cooldown time on a certain ability, and each damage gem increases the damage of an ability. What ability a gem supports is randomized on drop and when upgrading, but they can be rerolled for silver. If you have a gem that supports the ability of a different class from yours, you can reroll it and it will support one of your abilities. These gems range from level 1 to level 10. You will start upgrading them from level 1, and to upgrade them you need to combine 3 of the same level. So 3 level 1 gems make 1 level 2 gem. 3 level 2 gems make 1 level 3, and this goes on. It's a pretty long process. You can also buy them from the auction house from other players for gold. When you combine 3 gems, they can be either damage or cooldown gems. It doesn't matter, the outcome will be completely random in that regard. You can have both a cooldown and a damage gem support the same ability, but 2 cooldown or 2 damage gems for the same skill do not stack. You can also automate the combining up to whatever level you set the system to. You can also equip your skills with runes. They each have unique effects, like applying a bleed with the skill, giving you a haste effect, increasing certain properties of your skills, getting a shield while using the skill, and so on. These only really come into play in tier 3, and at that point they become actually pretty important to get. They also exist in tier 1 and tier 2, but the best ones only become available in tier 3. You can obtain them from all sorts of content like world bosses, collectibles, guardian raids, report, stronghold merchants, and from other sources. I will cover these in detail when we're closer to the release of tier 3. These two were by far the most complicated topics of the video. From here on, the rest is going to be pretty simple, and as I said in the beginning, each topic that's important and has more to it, I will cover in a separate video before the release. Next up is character stats. Your character has 3 different types of stats: basic stats, combat stats, and virtues. Your basic stats are a combination of strength, dexterity, intellect, and vitality. What determines your basic stats is your gear, including jewelry, your expedition or account level, and the permanent stat increasing potions you have obtained throughout your journey. The combination of all that decides your attack power and max HP. Your combat stats are crit, specialization, domination, swiftness, endurance, and expertise. Knowing what these stats do and what your class benefits from the most is crucial. Some classes with certain builds benefit so much from specialization, for example, that almost any other stat on them is pretty much wasted. The only thing that determines your combat stats are your jewelry and some minor permanent upgrades, for example collecting card sets. This is what each combat stat does. Crit increases your crit chance. Specialization enhances your class's identity properties like damage, transformation time, and also your awakening damage. Domination increases your damage dealt to CC'd enemies. Swiftness increases your attack speed and movement speed, and also decreases your cooldown times. Endurance increases your physical and magical defense and your shields and heals, but no one really uses this. Supports go for more spec and swiftness. And lastly, expertise increases the duration of your crowd control effects, decreases the duration of crowd control effects inflicted on you, and increases your stagger damage. No one really uses this either, not even destroyers. Crit and spec are just overall better stats. And finally, virtues are technically your report stats. Some NPCs require you to have certain amounts of virtue stats to be able to do their report quests or to keep advancing with their report levels. You can increase your virtues by doing quests, filling up your adventure book, obtaining titles, equipping titles through collectibles, as Una's task reputation rewards, completing achievements, and also by equipping avatars. Some of these you get in the form of potions that are automatically consumed upon acquisition. Next up is cards. This is also a topic that deserves a separate video from me in the near future, so I will keep it short in this one. Cards are an important part of the game, but only really come into play in tier 3, so by then it's smart to have already gathered a good amount and a good variety of them. Each card is part of a set, and each set has unique effects. For the effect to be active, you need to have equipped the cards. You can equip up to 6 cards at once. Each card set's effect has up to 30 levels. You need to reach certain levels to get certain effects. By default, each card gives you 1 level for the set, but they can be upgraded if you have multiple copies of the same card. They can be upgraded 5 times, and each level increases the effect by 1 level. Upgrading from level 0 to level 1 needs you to have 1 extra card. Upgrading from level 1 to level 2 needs 2 extra cards. Level 3 needs 3, level 4 needs 4, and level 5 needs 5 copies of the same card. So to upgrade a card to the max level, you need 16 copies of that card in total. One thing to keep in mind is that each effect is locked behind a certain number of cards that you must equip. Let's look at the probably most sought after card set, the Crit Chance card set, as an example. You need to reach 12 points for the extra 7% crit chance from the set, as well as 6 equipped cards from the set. This means that even though technically 2 level 5 cards give you 12 points, that won't give you the crit chance effect because you also need to equip all 6 of the cards from that set. Upgrading cards cost silver and also requires card XP. There are cards dropped from certain content that give you card XP, and when you use them, their XP gets stored inside your card interface. If you don't know what cards to upgrade, it is a smart thing to do to hold onto your stored card XP. You can obtain some important cards through Rockport, achievements, adventure book, and collectibles like masterpieces. Some other cards you can also buy from traveling merchants in specific regions. You can also target farm Guardian cards from Guardian raids. Other than this, you can only rely on RNG from opening random card books, but selection books also exist where you can pick what card you want out of the book. Again, if you don't know what to pick, the smartest thing to do is to put it in your storage for now. You can obtain books that give cards from all of the Abyssal dungeons, from Abyssal raids, Challenge Abyssal dungeons, Legion raids, Tower dungeons, Adventure islands, events, and from other sources. Collecting different card sets also permanently increase some of your base and combat stats without having to equip them, and all of your cards and card sets are server-wide. Now let's talk about engravings. Engravings are passive effects applied to your character through jewelry, ability stones, and engraving books. Ability stones are part of your equipment, and they each have 2 positive and 1 negative engravings on them. When you equip an ability stone, the engraving points on it are applied to your character. Jewelry are also part of your equipment, and they each have random amounts of random engravings on them. The possible amount changes with different rarities of the jewelry. Jewelry can also have class-specific engravings on them, however, ability stones cannot. By reading engraving books, you can learn any positive engraving in the game. There are 4 rarities of each engraving book: Common, level 1 or green; Rare, level 2 or blue; Epic, level 3 or purple; and Legendary, level 4 or orange. To learn an engraving, you first need to read 20 level 1 engraving books of that specific engraving. For level 2, you need to have read the 20 level 1 variant books and 20 level 2 books. Same goes for level 3 and level 4. Each level is equal to 3 points of that engraving of the book you read. That means level 1 is equal to 3 points, level 2 is 6 points, level 3 is 9, and level 4 is 12 points. Just by reading the books, you don't get the engraving effect. You also need to apply it to your character in order for it to work. Combining these 3 things, ability stones, jewelry, and engraving books, you can have multiple engraving effects on your character, raising its power drastically. Every engraving in Lost Ark has 3 levels to them. The level increases with every 5th point on the engraving from any source up to 15 points, which gives you the level 3 effect. Each class has its own class engravings, and by using one or the other, the feel and the playstyle of the class can be significantly different. You can obtain engraving books from Chaos Dungeons, Challenge and normal Guardian raids, Abyssal Dungeons, Abyssal raids, Legion raids, Tower Dungeon First Clear, Cube Dungeons, Ghost Ships, from the Auction House, and some other one-time completion stuff like Island Quests, and maybe from the Purification Fragment Merchant, but I am not sure if it will be in our version at the start. Next up is battle items and potions. I am not going to be listing every single one of them because there are a lot and pretty much all of them have their own uses. Bombs also fall in this category. Battle items include items like signal flares that are used inside Guardian raids to locate where the Guardian currently is, and also items like an hourglass that works pretty much the same way as Zhonya's hourglass from League of Legends. It makes you go invincible for a brief moment, allowing you to avoid incoming damage or some mechanics. Most of these items have very specific situations in which they should be used, so saving any battle items you have in your possession is a good idea until you think you could make some use of them. Bombs are very similar in this regard. There are 12 different bombs in this game in total. Elemental bombs can help you deal damage or debuff targets, whirlwind bombs can help you with impairment boss phases, and so on. Again, these should be saved for when you know when to utilize them properly, otherwise you're literally throwing away gold. And finally, potions. In Lost Ark we have 2 types of healing potions and a few buff potions. One of the healing potions restores a fixed amount of HP over time, and as you progress towards later parts of the game, new ones that restore more HP will keep appearing all the time, so these you can pretty much drink all you want. You can always buy more for silver in cities, and you also get a lot of them dropped in the open world. These can only be used while doing casual content. The other HP restoring potions instantly restore a set percentage of your HP. The green potion is the lowest tier. It restores 30% of your max HP. The blue is the middle tier. It restores 45% max HP. And the highest tier is the purple one. it restores 60% max HP. In harder content, like Abyssal Dungeons, these are the only healing potions you can actually use. And finally, we have buff potions. These include potions like the Edge Dropping Potion that gives an immense damage and attack speed boost for a short period, Cleansing Potions, which I don't know the official name for, that removes certain negative effects from your character, and Awakening Potions that instantly refill your identity gauge. Every single one of these items, all battle items, bombs and potions, you can craft inside your stronghold after researching their recipe, and you can craft them using life skill resources and gold. You can also make them in the form of selection boxes later on by doing your life skills on your stronghold island, but those boxes and the items that they contain will be untradeable, and you may also buy them from other players through the auction house. Now we can finally start talking about some PvE stuff. Our next topic is Chaos Dungeons. Chaos Dungeons are your casual mobbing dungeons that give great rewards for how long it takes to complete them. You can run 2 Chaos Dungeons each day for full loot, and you can keep running them for extra rewards like Purification Fragments that can be spent at the Purification Fragment Merchant for even more upgrade mats, jewelry, and auxiliary items. These purchases at the merchant are limited, so you can't infinitely grind them, but they reset each week on reset day. You have different level Chaos Dungeons that give more and better rewards the higher the item level requirement is for them. You also get your first set of gear in Chaos Dungeons for each rarity and tier. Any extra gear you get, you can just salvage for more upgrade mats. This only ever changes from tier 3 legendary equipment. From that point, you only get shattered items that only exist for tripod level transportation or to be salvaged into upgrade mats. In order to advance from that point, you need to craft one of the tier 3 legendary Abyssal raid sets. Each Chaos Dungeon consists of 3 stages. In the first stage, you only need to kill trash mobs. In the second stage, you also need to kill some mini bosses and then a big boss. And in the third stage, you need to kill trash mobs until a crystal appears, which you need to destroy. Upon doing so, a mini-boss appears that you kill and keep repeating this process until you finish the dungeon. The most efficient way of doing Chaos Dungeons is only killing as many mobs as it takes for a portal to appear. This way you can kill more mini-boss enemies which are guaranteed to drop you an item. Sometimes you can get lucky on the second stage, and instead of the usual blue or purplish portal, a golden or a red portal might appear. These portals take you to a separate stage, and you will be sent to the third stage after completing them. Inside the golden portal, you need to kill a non-aggressive enemy that will drop silver and gold. And inside the red portal, you will need to fight a boss enemy that will give you a reasonable amount of rewards, including even more gold than the golden portals. There are small blue orbs placed around each stage inside Chaos Dungeons that increase your movement speed when you run through them. When a mini-boss enemy dies, they decrease your currently ongoing cooldowns. When you destroy a crystal in stage 3, they drop a strength adder that increases your combat attributes drastically for a short period. The combination of these mechanics make completing Chaos Dungeons a smooth and actually fun experience. You usually want to have a different skill set for Chaos Dungeons with abilities that make grouping up mobs and killing them easier. If you don't complete your daily Chaos Dungeons, then they will be stored as rest bonus. One missed run equals to 10 points of rest, and if you have at least 20 points stored, those 20 points will be consumed to give you more rewards when you complete a Chaos Dungeon the next time. This makes it so even if you can't play for a day or two, you don't need to worry too much about missing out on potential loot. Chaos Dungeons can be ran solo or in groups of up to 4 players. Most people do them solo. You can run them for full loot twice a day on every character you have, and most of the loot you get here is tradable. Next up is Guardian Raids. If you've ever played any Monster Hunter games, you might see similarities between those games and Guardian Raids. Just like Chaos Dungeons, you can run 2 Guardian Raids each day for full loot on all your characters, but you can also do more if you want to farm card or rune drops. Also same as Chaos Dungeons, if you don't do your daily Guardian Raids for a few days, you will accumulate some rest bonus. Upon defeating a Guardian, you can harvest its soul for loot, and if you have at least 20 rest bonus stored, you can harvest 2 souls instead of only 1. So what you need to do inside of a Guardian Raid is you need to locate the Guardian you are hunting and then defeat them. Some have more complicated mechanics, others not really. They start getting harder towards the end of each tier. Almost all of them are soloable on item level, but usually they are a lot easier to do in groups of 4, hence why most players do them in groups. Each and every one of the Guardians have cool and unique designs and mechanics. We have Guardians that look like animals, wyverns, magical creatures, and we even have Harambe. Rest in peace. Guardian Raid rewards include jewelry, ability stones, engraving books, specific runes, and some upgrade mats, but mainly leap stones. It's a good idea to have signal flares on you when doing Guardian raids. They will help locate the Guardian quickly when they move locations. Let me now explain the counter and other combat mechanics. Here we'll discuss how the counter mechanic works and also back attack, head attack, stagger, and weak point damage types. I will start with countering. Each and every class has at least one or two abilities that are able to land a counter attack. For that to happen, you need an enemy that can actually be countered, like certain boss enemies and guardians. To check which abilities are able to land a counter attack, check their tooltips in the skills menu. Whenever an enemy is glowing with this blue color, it means they are about to launch an attack that can be countered with your counter skills. You can only land the counter from in front of the enemy, making this a high risk, high reward mechanic. Upon a successful counter, the enemy will not move for a few seconds, giving you an opening to use your burst or your awakening. There are some raids that require you to know how to counter, so getting used to this mechanic and your counter skills will be essential in the long run. Next up is back attack. Some skills and basic attacks can deal back attack damage, but not all of them. You can check a skills tooltip to see if it can deal back attack damage. Back attacks deal 5% extra damage and have 10% increased crit chance. The bonus damage can be increased up to plus 25% damage with the use of a specific engraving. Head attack works similarly, but evidently you need to attack the enemy from the front. To see what skills can deal head attack damage, check your skills tooltip. Head attacks deal 20% extra damage and have 10% increased neutralization damage. The bonus damage can be increased by up to plus 25% extra damage, making it a total of 45% extra damage on head attacks. Next up we have stagger. Skills have different levels of stagger, ranging from level 1 to level 5. Some classes have more stagger damage on their abilities than others. Stagger level determines how much exhaustion your skill causes to the target. There are a lot of stagger or impairment mechanics in raids with a small window to deal enough stagger damage, so it's essential to understand which of your abilities deal good stagger damage. And lastly, we have weak point damage. Some of the boss enemies in Lost Ark, mostly guardians, have a body part which can be dealt weak point damage to. To be able to deal weak point damage to the target's body part, you need to first knock the enemy down and a crosshair will appear on their destroyable body part. You need to deal a set amount of weak point damage to it before it's destroyed, and not all classes are able to do that. By successfully destroying a body part, you will make the encounter easier to complete. Though not all classes can deal a lot of weak point damage, they can still bring a destruction bomb that will help to destroy the body part if it's thrown when the crosshair appears. Also, whirlwind bombs will help to knock the enemy down at the right time. Next up we have party buffs, also referred to as party synergies. Each and every class has at least one ability that has a tripod for it that will help the entire party in some way. When doing group content, you are pretty much expected to be using this skill with that particular tripod on it. Some of them have long cooldown times, so they should be timed more precisely. Others have lower cooldown times, so you can spam it to your likings. These party buffs work like debuffing your target, so they take more damage from all sources, but they can also debuff the target, so they have an increased chance to receive a critical strike. They can also make the target take more head or back attack damage. There are also a few that just directly increase the attack power or attack speed of party members. Utilizing these buffs in a smart way can make completing content significantly easier. This is a screenshot from Sainton's written Lost Ark guide of a list of each class's party buff, so you can pause and look at your class's synergies. You can find a link to his guide at the top of the description. I also recommend checking out his Twitch stream at twitch.tv/Sainton. He's a very knowledgeable and helpful person, and his streams are also mega cozy. Our next topic is Una's daily and weekly tasks. You can open this interface by pressing Alt+J on your keyboard. Here you can see a list of your available daily tasks and also how many mission points you have accumulated this week. At the top you can switch between the tabs, allowing you to look at your weekly tasks as well as your reputation status and guild requests. You can complete 3 daily tasks each day on each of your characters for their specific rewards, 2 mission points for each daily task, and to increase your reputation. You are able to unlock new daily tasks by completing certain sides and island quests, and some will have more unique rewards, especially if you max out their reputation. Unless you are looking to increase a specific task's reputation, I would advise you to do the tasks that give leap stones as a reward. You can do 3 weekly tasks each week on each of your characters as well. Some of them take a few days to complete, others can be done in a few minutes. Doing a weekly task gives you 7 mission points. If you have enough mission points, you can withdraw your UNA's tokens that can be exchanged for gold pouches and casket at an NPC. I would advise to only buy the highest tier of them, because you can get lucky and receive a nice extra amount of gold as an item drop that you can right click to consume it as gold. Every daily task has its own reputation meter. For each completion of the task, your reputation on that task will increase by 10. However, this can only happen once a day, which means you can't spam the same task on all of your characters to rush certain reputation rewards. These rewards include island tokens, tons of silver, pirate coins, report items, permanent stat increase potions, and later, in Tier 2 and Tier 3, even skill point potions. Next up, we have Daily Adventure Islands. Every day, there are 3 Adventure Islands that give special rewards. These emerge from the depths of the seas at specific times, which you can check out at your Procyon's eye compass just under your minimap. Here, you will also see what rewards each island gives, and sometimes they can even give gold, so these are very nice to do. They require you to do various activities, and some are actually pretty fun or chill to do. If the Adventure Island gives gold, the amount depends on your item level and it ranges between 80 and 1000. You can also get other rewards like upgrade mats, collectibles, pirate coins, island tokens, and so on. Our next topic is raiding. For me, this is the most fun part of this game and is the main reason I will be playing it for most likely a very long time. If you include Abyssal Dungeons, then there are 3 different types of raids in Lost Ark: Abyssal Dungeons, Abyssal Raids, and Legion Raids. Currently, all raids are either 4 or 8-man raids, because Kaisher has been removed a few months ago along with Mystic for rebalancing, and Kaisher's raid was the only 16-man raid in the game. Every single one of these raids include super cool and unique mechanics that you can learn by trial and error or by looking up guides. I am not going to spoil any mechanics for you in this video, but in the future I will do a walkthrough for each and every raid in the game. There are 2 ways to get into a raid. You either walk up to their specific structure and queue up for a group, or you can use the party finder that you can also open from the same menu, or by clicking on the party finder icon under your minimap. Here you can select what raid you would like to partake in and see if there's a group looking for a player. You can also create your own group and pick your ideal party members from the players who applied for your party. The party finder lets you do raids with players from different servers inside your region, in this case region being EU or NA East or NA West. Inside these raids, there are workshop stations where you can change your current skill setup, refill your potions and battle items, as well as your awakening charges. If you have the pet functions available, you can also repair your gear here if you forgot to do it beforehand. That only costs silver. Starting off, only the players who have played before and the players who looked up guides will understand certain mechanics, but in my opinion you shouldn't be expected to be looking up anything, and you should be able to partake in pub raids blindly, but maybe disclose that it's your first time or look for party members with the same experience in the game as you. Some raids will take a fair few attempts, even if you know every single mechanic, and that's just how it is. No need to sweat about it, just make sure you have fun. Abyssal Dungeons are small-scale raids that can be completed in a pretty short time. Abyssal raids are a bit harder to complete, and Legion raids require you to utilize everything you can in order to complete them successfully. In Tier 1, currently only Abyssal Dungeons exist, because the Tier 1 Abyssal raid, along with the Tier 2 one, has recently been removed from the game for rebalancing, and Legion raids only exist in Tier 3. All of these raids give you gold, jewelry, engraving books, and gear set crafting mats. Some of them also include phases with different item level requirements and different rewards. You can run each raid once a week for full loot on all of your characters. Next up is Challenge Abyssal Dungeons and Challenge Guardian Raids. These require a specific item level to be accessible. They are pretty much the exact same as their normal counterparts, except that they are equalized content. That means your gear enhancements, cards, skill gems and tripod levels don't work here, but your engravings do. This challenge content gives very special rewards, ranging from upgrade mats and accessories to class engraving book selection boxes and legendary card packs. You can do every Challenge Guardian raid once a week on all of your characters, and every challenge abyssal dungeon once a week and only on one character on your account. Some Legion raids also have a challenge mode, and they are ridiculously difficult, but you get an awesome reward for completing them in the form of a title that you can equip next to your name, which showcases that you were able to do that content. This title even has a unique little icon next to it, and I just love stuff like this in video games, when you can actually show off your achievements. Let me now briefly cover life skills in Lost Ark. This is also a topic that I will cover more deeply in a few weeks, so if you're watching this after the release, I most likely already have that video out. Life skills are exactly what you might expect they are. There are 6 different life skills in Lost Ark. Each life skill requires you to have their specific tool equipped to be able to do the activity. These tools have different rarities and bonuses on them. One trick you can do is to buy a lot of green tools until you get one of each that has knockback immunity on it. That will help you do your stuff without mobs being able to cancel your actions. As you're using a tool, it will lose its durability, and eventually you will need to repair it, lowering its maximum durability every time. Green tools are easy to replace, but later on you might create or invest into higher tier tools, and they also lose max durability. However, an item exists that lets you resharpen your tools, increasing its max durability back up to 100%. These items you can craft in your stronghold from lumbering and archaeology resources. Herbalism is your main life skill for creating potions and battle items. Lumbering and mining are most used for stronghold upgrades and the crafting of stronghold structures that you can place on your island. Hunting and fishing are used to create temporary stat increasing foods. And lastly, archaeology is used to create life skill tools, archaeology maps, and fusion stones. Note that there is a specific recipe for fusion stones for each life skill. Also, all life skills have more uses to them than what I just told you, and I will cover everything in a separate video. All the resources you get from doing open world life skills are tradable, and by doing them whenever you have life skill energy, you can make a decent amount of gold. In order to be able to do life skills, you need life skill energy, which you spend with each action you do. This energy accumulates back to full over time and takes about 2 days to completely replenish. Some cash shop items exist that refill some of your life skill energy and boost how many resources you get, and they are also sometimes given away as event rewards. Again, anything I talk about related to the cash shop is not set in stone at the moment. A lot can be different in our version from the Eastern versions. You can also level up life skills, and at certain levels you unlock new mechanics, abilities, resources, and passive bonuses. Our next topic is Voyage missions. This is the main activity you can do to obtain pirate coins, and also apart from chests, you can only obtain region-specific coins from doing the Voyage missions of each specific region. These region-specific coins are the only currency you can pay with for a few things, like very specific ship upgrade mats, so it is wise to save up some of each. You can also use these coins to get more pirate coins. Most major ports have a scheduled cooperative Voyage mission near them that players can complete together for the rewards. These activities are very simple and easy to do and can be done however many times you can be bothered to do them, but they are scheduled, so you need to pay attention to your calendar to see when they are available. If you are using a ship skin, make sure it has the basic ship functions available, because some skins disable those and you need them for these activities. You can also upgrade your ship for a smoother experience, and later missions will require you to have an upgraded ship in the first place. Upgrading your first ship, the Estok, to level 5 is pretty easy and cheap, and it gives you more durability, resistances, and speed while sailing. You can also get keys from doing Voyage missions, which can be used up inside of Harmony Gates, which is an activity very similar to Voyage missions. They are also only available at certain times, and you need a key to get any rewards. This can reward you with decent amounts of gold. The next topic is ghost ships. Ghost ships are only available at specific days, at specific times, and at specific locations. You can see when they will appear inside your Procyon's Eye Compass under your minimap. You can only receive rewards from ghost ships once a week. When you board a ghost ship, you will be heavily slowed down unless you used a ghost ship yourself to sail to it, and in that case, you actually get a big stat boost while you're on board. To get the ghost ship, I believe you need to get max reputation on the ghost ship daily task, and if you know this for sure, please confirm this in the comments and I will include it in the pinned comment. To be able to use the ghost ship, we also need at least one crew member who can board the ghost ship as well. The actual ghost ship, you need to defeat the captain of the ship to get the rewards. The rewards you get are upgrade fragments, destruction and guardian stones, auxiliary items, and engraving books. Next up we have cube dungeons. To be able to enter a cube dungeon, you need to first obtain a ticket from Chaos Dungeons. Normal and hard mode require different tickets, and there's also a different ticket for each tier's cube dungeon. You can also get tickets from your guild currency exchange merchants if your guild has already done the required research on it. Inside the cube dungeons, you are faced with different challenges each time, and you also get a random effect in each stage. These effects can either be positive or negative. A few challenges can be rather difficult on item level, but if you're overgeared, nothing should be able to make you have any problems. Only maybe if you are bad at dodging explosions or if you have a high ping. These can be done both solo or in a group of up to 4 players. If you have a lot of tickets saved up, you can use 3 at a time for triple the loot, but also triple the risk of losing all your tickets by failing early. As you're completing stages, you get points, and at certain amounts of points, your rewards are increased. This caps at 5000 points when you get the diamond box. Your cube dungeon run ends as soon as you die. The rewards you get for completing cube dungeons are a reasonable amount of silver, auxiliary items, masterpieces, engraving books, and XP cards. Next up is the Tower Dungeon. The Tower Dungeon has a wide range of rewards, including one-time rewards like engraving books, skill point potions, collectibles, card packs, and also upgrade mats. There's a tower for tier 1 and tier 2, and they are replaced in tier 3 by this bridge dungeon called the Igorama Ridge. Tower dungeons make you complete each floor, all 50 of them, one by one, and every 5th floor is locked behind a higher and higher item level requirement. However, with the Igorama Ridge, you can choose a level you would like to attempt, and if you complete it successfully, you get all the rewards up to that level. That dungeon is pretty much a DPS check at the moment. The Tower Dungeon faces you with different challenges on every floor, and the rewards make it really worth to complete each floor. One smart thing you can do is to do each floor on one of your alts first to unlock all the one-time rewards, because your next character that completes the same floors receives more upgrade mats instead of those one-time rewards. This is something I would have never thought about without reading St. Dawn's Guide. You can find the link to that on the top of the description. Let's talk a bit about Boss Rush. You also need to obtain a ticket before entering Boss Rush, just like Cube Dungeons, and you can only get tickets reliably as a drop inside Chaos Dungeons or by buying them at the guild currency exchange if your guild has done the research on it. Boss Rush is exactly what you might expect it is. You need to defeat waves of bosses, and with each wave completed, you get increased rewards. Currently, Boss Rush only exists in Tier 2 and Tier 3, but it used to also exist in Tier 1. The main rewards you are looking at from doing Boss Rush are Leapstone, skill gems, and XP cards. The next topic is Chaos Gates. Chaos Gates only open on specific days, and they can only be completed once a day. They also appear in specific locations, and you can check it out inside your Procyon's Eye Compass under your minimap. These gates are done in masses, and it's easy content. You just need to deal damage and make sure not to die. The main reward you're looking at is the treasure maps you get for completing Chaos Gates, as well as the Frenzy Rune, which is an RNG drop. Legendary and artifact treasure maps give gold when completed. People usually do them in groups of 4, with each person having a map, so you can all get 4 times the rewards. You can right click on a treasure map in your inventory to locate the portal that leads to a dungeon, which gives you gold on completion. You also get some upgrade mats, skill gems, and some other stuff for completing treasure maps. When doing Chaos Gates, since they are done in a mass group of players, it's a good idea to turn off skill effects for other players. Next, I will cover World Bosses. World Bosses are similar to Chaos Gates in the sense of only being available at specific days and specific times. To see what World Bosses are available when, take a look at your Procyon's Eye Compass under your minimap. You can also only receive loot from World Bosses once a day. Most of them are pretty easy to kill, and usually at least a few people show up for them if they have good rewards. They each have specific item level requirements for you to be able to deal damage to them, and if you can't deal any damage, you don't get any rewards. Each world boss also appears in a specific location. Since overgeared players would just one-shot these bosses as soon as they spawn, Smilegate made it so they have a big damage reduction on them when they spawn that gradually decreases with time. Even with this, usually it only takes a minute or two to kill these, but early on, with everyone being on item level, it might be a different scenario. World bosses give upgrade mats as reward, like Destruction and Guardian Stones, XP cards, collectibles, and in some cases some very specific rewards. Most of these you want to kill for adventure book completion and the special rewards and collectibles they can drop. The next topic is your personal stronghold. Your stronghold is basically your own little island that you can customize to your likings by buying and crafting different structures. Later down the line, you will be able to create minigames inside your stronghold and customize it even more deeply, which even though doesn't excite me too much, I still find it amazing and I can't wait to see what themes people come up with. Apart from customizing, your stronghold also has lots of practical uses, including crafting battle items, potions and all kinds of stuff, being able to dispatch stronghold-specific crew members and your pets on expeditions for a bunch of rewards, having different merchants that can visit your stronghold and sell you some very special stuff, being able to AFK train your level 50 plus characters up to the level of your highest level character -1, and even more great features that I will go over in a separate video in the coming weeks. Most of the content for your stronghold is locked behind research that can take a lot of time, I believe even up to 20 hours on specific researches, but of course not all of them take that long. Researching costs you basic logging and mining resources and of course gold. In order to visit your stronghold, you need to play the Song of Heart and Home, which you can obtain by completing the quest in Luterra Castle that unlocks this stronghold. The next topic is report actions. Some NPCs you can make friends with. You may do so by performing specific emotes and songs they like, doing report quests they give you at certain points, and by giving them gifts. You can unlock a number of emotes and songs from all sorts of content. You can find a guide for them on papunica.com. Every single day you can perform a total of 5 emotes and 5 songs for NPCs, and the Crystalline Aura subscription gives you +1 use for both of the actions. The gifts you can give to NPCs have different rarities, and if you don't have someone specific you want to get to a high level of friendship, it's smart to not use these gifts at all until you do have someone you really want to start working on, because these gifts give a significant boost to your progression. NPCs can have up to 5 levels of friendship, each level giving specific rewards differing from NPC to NPC. You can get lots of silver, gold, engraving books, collectibles, permanent stat increasing potions, cards, and some other cool stuff from NPCs with report. You can check out all the rewards and befriendable NPCs in-game by pressing Alt+N on your keyboard. Our second to last topic is collectibles. There are 8 different types of collectibles in Lost Ark currently. Island tokens, Mokoko seeds, Giant's hearts, masterpieces, Ignia tokens, Sea bounty, World tree leaves, and Omnium stars. I will only talk about the important ones for now. Later on, I will probably cover all of them in one separate video. If you want to look each of them up right now, check them out on papunica.com. Island tokens you get from completing the quests of certain islands, getting their daily tasks reputation to max, getting a certain level of friendship with an NPC on the island, and from combat and non-combat related RNG. This might not make too much sense at the moment, but trust me, once you visit these islands, you will see they all have different little activities and themes for them. You want to get 20 island tokens for a strong skill point potion that will give you 6 extra skill points. These skill point potions are essential to obtain eventually, so it's smart to start working on them early. When you obtain 4, 6, 10, and 12 Giant's hearts, you also get 1 regular skill point potion each time, giving you 4 times 3 skill points. Giant's hearts you can obtain from Report, Tower Dungeon, quests, World Boss RNG, and from certain merchants on certain islands. Ignia tokens are a very important collectible to work on, but they also take a very long time. You get an Ignia token when you fully complete any page of your adventure book. At 2 Ignia tokens, you get an item you need to obtain for a particular island token for the island called Argon, where you need to do some ice sculpturing. At 8 Ignia tokens, you get a strong skill point potion, and at 9, you unlock an extra Bifrost slot that lets you save an extra location where you can instantly TP to every 2 hours. And finally, the probably most useful collectible are the Omnium stars. These only exist inside of tier 3, so you won't need to bother with these for a while. You get a decent reward for pretty much every single Omnium star, but most of them are also a pain to obtain. Again, for an exact list on every single collectible in Lost Ark and a short guide on how to obtain them, check out papunika.com. And our final topic of the guide is the adventure book. You can open your adventure book by pressing the N key. Every single continent and region has its own page in the adventure book. In order to fully complete a page in the book, you need to have done the story of the region, collected all of the collectible adventure book items dropped from specific enemies inside the region. You also need to have learned all the specific recipes of the region. You need to have interacted with each and every viewpoint, have all the dungeons in the region completed on both normal and hard difficulty, have killed every unique monster in the region, killed all the world bosses that can spawn in the region, have done both of the sub-stories, have found all the hidden stories, have befriended all the NPCs you are able to in the region, and have unlocked all the triports in the region. And of course, by region I don't mean a single area, I mean the entire region that is the collection of different areas. As you might have guessed by now, completing even a single page of the adventure book entirely will take a lot of time and effort. However, by doing so, you not only get the Ignia tokens, but also all the rewards at every 10th percentage of the completion that are different for each page of the adventure book. By doing this, you will unlock a number of skill point potions, emotes, songs, cards, report items, runes, some masterpieces, and even a few mounts. In the future, I would love to cover every single page of the adventure book, hopefully in one single video. And that wraps up the guide. This took so much time and effort for me to make. I really hope you guys will find it useful, especially after the launch. There is still a lot more to talk about, but I think it will be for the better to make a separate video for each topic that has more to it than what I just covered in this one. And to be completely clear with you, I'm also still learning more about Lost Ark every single day, so this process also helps me become more knowledgeable, which might have not happened if you guys didn't show so much interest in Lost Ark as well. So here's a huge thank you from me to all of you for being here and motivating me to do things that I've never done before. Thank you very much. Still, if you think I missed something important, do let me know in the comments and I will include it in the pinned comment. And once more, huge credit to the makers of papunika.com and to Sainton's written guide for being such reliable sources for information. You can find a link to both of these at the top of the description. If you found the video helpful, please give it a like. It really means so much to me. And also don't forget to subscribe for more Lost Ark content. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you all next time.